Hey everyone, welcome back to Teenager Therapy. I'm Gael.
I'm Thomas.
I'm Kayla.
I'm Mark.
And welcome back to episode 207 of the podcast, I think. Which is also our 4-year anniversary
Woo!
Yeah.
of doing
Yay.
Teenager Therapy.
Yes.
For the past 4 fucking years.
Long time.
It's been a long
This is a whole high school.
That's a high school
career.
experience.
Freshman to senior.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn, high school went by quick, low key.
It really did.
Hell yeah.
Teenager
Now we're
Therapy high
sophomores
school.
in college. Like
Yeah.
that's pretty insane.
Yeah, that was this has been a moment, and it's weird looking back at stories, and it's like, here's a highlight of your story 258 weeks ago, and you're like, that's a long time. That's a lot of weeks. So it's been wild that we started this when we were 15. If you're new here, we're 19 now, so 19 minus 4.
I'm not 19.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
Mark is
okay.
19.
Still
Still
When's my birthday?
24th.
25th. 24th or 25th? 25th.
24th. Good boy.
Thank you. Say that again. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Oh,
I'm
God.
literally kidding, bro. Anyways, so
Y'all hear that?
September 20. Oh my God, yeah, your birthday is in 3 days, Mark. Are you doing
Wait,
anything?
what?
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Am I doing anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is it 24th of Saturday?
It's a Saturday.
You got lucky.
I did get lucky.
That is
Wow,
lucky.
good
We're
job.
going
Big
crazy.
wager or intimate? What's your choice?
Intimate. I'm going to have different celebrations with my different friend groups.
That is very
That's good.
intimate.
It's good.
Would you ever do a rager? Absolute, like, big celebration? Maybe
Sure.
when you're 21?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's in the works. It's in my brain.
It's like cooking up in there?
It's cooking. I'll tell you that.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Cooking.
19, 20, 21. 2
Can't
more
really
years
say
until
too
you're
much.
21.
Mm-hmm.
Weird. That's weird to say. 2 more years until you're 21.
I know. I didn't even think about that. That's really weird.
That sounds like
Don't say that.
All right.
it's weird that from 19 to 21 is only 2 years, yet it feels so distant.
It do.
Yeah.
And
Right?
I feel like those are very like
Different.
different
People.
years. Like
Levels
you,
of maturity.
You grow a
too,
lot
Yeah,
during those
exactly.
years.
right? Entering your 20s, living a
Damn.
full year as a 20-year-old, and then into 21.
That's
So
crazy.
different than we were 19.
I just remember I couldn't wait to turn 19. I couldn't wait to... Here were the years I was excited for. I was excited to turn 16, 17, and then 19. I don't know why I skipped over 18, but like... I feel like the 16 and 17 was like... Oh, I'm like... That's like the perfect age.
Mm.
And then that was fine. And now I'm 19 and I feel like
Oh.
I've been looking forward to this for so long. And now that it's here, it's underwhelming. And I'm like, I mean, life is good, but it's like,
This is 19.
this
No,
is 19,
I get it.
you know? Like,
I
it
get
feels
it.
like it should be something so much bigger, but you don't change that much. It's like,
The thing is, we do. We just don't realize
yeah,
it.
I know, but like nothing
Doesn't feel different.
drastic.
And
Yeah.
plus, we're only 1 month in.
Oh, yeah. I just
Oh, yeah,
turned
you were.
19.
Yeah, I was like 19. I was in France.
Oh my
we
God.
were in France.
I was 18 and
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you told your, like, because I think I was always looking forward to being 16 too.
Mm.
Like,
yeah.
when I was 13, I was like, whoa, like, when I'm going to be 16, like, life is going to be so fun and so cool when I'm 16.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, it was like, if you told me like at 16, you're going to have this podcast, you're going to be going to LA all the time into these offices to like record content and like you're going to be on social media, like that's kind of
That's true.
very ideal. And then to tell my like, and then also I agree with you. I really like 17, 18, 19 is still kind of like, it's cool, but I don't know. That's irrelevant. Anyways, 18,
18 was fun.
just being 18 in general.
Yeah.
Okay, I think 18 for me, the weird transition ages, like 18 is like you're going from a minor to an adult, and then 20, you're entering like your 20s. 20 to me sounds scary. 18 also sounded a little bit daunting because you're recognized as an adult, so you have more responsibility. So I think the ages that for me were special were 16, 17, and 19.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I feel like 18 was like such a scary age to be. I really liked it. I feel like, I mean, nothing really happened. It's just a lot of good
age?
things happened that year. And
what age?
18.
18.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But it was scary.
When I think of
Like
like,
then you're no longer a minor.
yeah,
And
And-
you can't get away with like everything.
not everything. I mean, when I think of being 17, it's like, I just imagined the cheesy romance movie stuff. That's like what 17 was to me. 18 sounds a little bit more scary real world stuff. And then again, 19 sounds more like cheesy romantic movie ideal life. 20 sounds scary. Does that make sense?
It
It does. I just never had those like milestones.
Really?
Yeah.
You'd never fantasize when
I
you
feel
were like
like I
14,
should've
13,
now.
like, whoa, one day I'm going to be a 16-year-old.
I remember lots of movies about like turning 16 and I would be like, I wonder what that's going to be like. But I didn't like actively like look forward to it or like think about it.
How about high school?
What do
I
you
was so excited for high school. I like could not wait. And then high school was a shit show. And I mean,
think-
it was fun, but it was also not what I was expecting.
I think the most like exciting thing that I was looking forward to was just college. Because I was like, this is my time to get away, like just do my own thing, not be around like the same people, just like new environment. And that's just what I really needed. And it turned out to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Mark? Did you have your ideal age or romanticized ages?
I think it was 21.
21 for you?
Yeah, 21.
Wow.
Interesting.
Because that's when like I'll be able to do anything really.
but at that point, it's like you've already done everything. You know? It's
I
like,
guess legally.
yeah.
Well,
And then the things that I'm like allowed to do, you know, I think skydiving. I could do it at
21?
18. No,
I
no,
feel like
no,
you
no,
could be
18.
18.
I know there's several
you
things.
could go to war at 18. Come on, you can't skydive.
You're
It's just what
super
you're
right.
doing.
Cigarettes.
Oh, bitch. Okay.
That's so true.
It's-
Isn't that 21?
yes.
Yeah, it is 21. It moved to 21. But yeah, I know there's several things that I can't do right now,
Gambling.
but until 21.
Mm,
Well, I can't gamble as an 18-year-old?
I don't think
Some
so.
places, but most is 21.
Yeah, I don't think so. Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Vegas would be
That's a
trip.
big thing. And just like what comes with being 21. Most of your friends have disposable income. People have jobs.
That's
Some
true.
people are
That's
starting
true.
careers. It's
People are
a
graduating
different.
at that time.
Yeah, it's a
Will
different
you
lifestyle.
graduate?
Huh?
You graduate at that time?
Around 22,
I
21.
overlooked
no?
that.
21, 22.
That's scary.
A little bit. Because I got into the adult world. Everything. This is the adult world.
Scary.
It's all up to
That's
you.
the adult world.
Network.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but it's weird that we've been doing this for like the 4 years of our lives, and that some people have been listening for 4 years of their life too. There's some listeners that have told us, I've been here since I was 15. I'm 19 now. And when they put it that way,
That's 1/4 of their life.
oh my God, don't say that. Actually,
Huh?
What?
No.
1/5.
that's-
1/4, 1/5.
Mark, are you a math major?
Wait, what?
1/4, 1/5.
1/4, 1/5 of their lives.
It's between there. It was a
1/5
good
of their
estimate.
lives.
It is a significant amount.
Yeah, like 5 years out of 18.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Or 19.
Okay, I was like,
Hey.
like their entire life. I'm like, really? No.
No, of what they've lived so far.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Sorry.
All good, all good.
Yeah, it hits how long we've been doing this when I hear other people being here for that long. So I'm like, oh my gosh, we've been a constant in your life for that long.
People have spent their like years with us. It's really fun.
Yeah, like
Most-
it's
A little scary, but fun. They've seen all the ugly.
They've seen us transform.
it's not
Yeah.
fair. We haven't seen their ugly.
See? yeah.
fucked
I
up.
always think
They're
that. I'm
uglies
like,
in our DMs.
That's
They
true.
ask me for help.
No, literally, it's in our DMs. We see your ugly babes. We got it. Oh my God.
Oh, Kayla. Tasters.
It's been nice. You know, we did say we had a very big announcement this episode. Because look, after 4 years of doing this, it's been interesting seeing us where we were to where we are now, and how we've all fallen like fruit flies. Just broop, 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 broop. So
Yes.
I think the first one that left the podcast was Isaac.
He went to go travel.
He went to
Berkeley.
yeah.
Berkeley.
Is having the best time ever.
He's in
No,
If you look at his Instagram stories, it's like he's always at a new place. He was just in
know.
Amsterdam. I've always wanted to go to Amsterdam.
He was telling me that's like really nice.
Aw,
Yeah.
I'm just so happy for him.
He's been telling me that he's just flying for fun right now. I was like, wait, Isaac, why are you flying so much? How are you flying everywhere? He's like, oh, just for fun, just been visiting. I'm
Wait,
like,
so he goes. It's not part of the school.
no, that's just for fun.
It's like really cheap to fly in between countries in Europe, I think.
Oh, the UN.
That's so
Yeah.
smart. Good for him.
So he's just like
Good for
he was
him.
like he's in Spain and now he's in like fucking Amsterdam. I'm like, babes,
I know Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Oh,
like,
lucky
wow.
man.
Wait, is Isaac 19 or 20?
He's turning 20 in
Turning
like
20
3
December.
months.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, okay.
January.
January.
Doing all of that at
January
19.
18.
Look at him.
He's
Yeah.
the oldest of the bunch.
Father.
And the
Oldie.
youngest one
Poppy.
is Mark.
Baby. I'm a baby.
It's so funny. Yeah, the oldest and the youngest. The oldest was the first to fly out of the bird nest.
Baby
Fly out of the bird
got
nest.
news.
Who's gonna be the next baby to grow their wings? Okay, well,
Is that a segue
Mark,
to me?
this is your
Yeah.
the
Well, 'cause
intro.
that was a
into
weird.
it.
That was a weird.
Yeah.
thing.
yeah, I don't know.
Like, I was literally gonna.
I
prep
saw
it
you
with
trying to piece
Thank
Baby
you.
got
I don't
news.
know. I fucked up
Yeah.
the delivery. I
Take
don't know
the
how
mic,
else to
take
say
the
it.
mic.
Mark,
Yeah.
what's
taking the
happening?
mic. As you guys know, my name is Mark Vincent Hugo.
Okay.
I'm 18 years old.
What's your license plate number?
I'm not gonna do that.
Mother's maiden name.
I'm not gonna do that either.
Favorite childhood pet?
I'm not gonna do that.
Name of the first elementary school.
and our first grade teacher. As a co-host of Teenager Therapy for 4 long, arduous years, I am announcing that this will be my last episode of the podcast. Bum bum bum.
Heartbroken.
Was that necessary?
We're trying to play this up.
Yeah.
Not that it needs playing up or whatever.
I mean, I don't even know. Like, yeah, we were like trying to make it like seem like sound serious because it is serious. It's just hard to understand the gravity of it, of what it actually means. It's kind of like
For sure.
it's like a breakup, but when you don't like you break up and you don't.
It's like a scheduled breakup.
Yeah,
A little bit.
it's like okay, we broke up now. It's
Yeah.
like when people go off to college and like they know they're
Aw.
gonna break up. So it's like okay, we broke up.
So
And like
sad.
okay,
Bye.
like actually, and it's like, yeah, we broke up. So
But the thing is that he's still gonna be around, and he'll be like Isaac, where he might show up in like a future episode or two, but like he won't
He won't be here all the time.
like all the time.
Not all the time.
Yeah. So it's understandable. It has been 4 years.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
yeah, why'd you decide to leave?
I've decided to leave to look into different things, put my time into other things, and plus alignment of schedules and interpersonal relationship problems.
He didn't fuck with us no more. We
And
didn't
that's
vibe.
okay.
That's fine.
If you
That's
listen to the
okay.
last episode about running away, I might give you a little clue.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's
Mhm.
true. That's where we really disclose our guts. I guess in
There's a little foreshadowing, you can say.
yeah. Honestly, this is like we describe the podcast as like a coming of age story told in real time. And this is literally a perfect example of that moment. Like you just did not vibe with us anymore. In the beginning you did, you know, like if you look back 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we were having a great time. Like if you look at our YouTube videos, it was really fun. So now to look to the present in real time, like that's just not the case anymore. It's like a slow outgrowing, and so now we're here where it's that's the end of that, I guess.
Mhm.
It's I'm glad we had it's like we had our friendship documented. I mean, you didn't really talk to Kayla until the podcast or Isaac and such, and
We wouldn't have been friends.
Nope. We wouldn't
Yeah.
have.
yeah, so
Crazy.
that was like
Don't cry.
it's weird because it's like it was a constant.
That's a
in your
constant
life.
what?
It was a constant in your life. The podcast.
Oh, yeah, it was
every
like
single week
every
for 4
week.
years.
We would meet up once a week. That's crazy.
I know.
You've been a weekly part of my life for 4 years.
Whoa. You guys too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not going to see us as often anymore.
So sad.
Yeah.
We'll probably look different next time.
Oh, I'm gonna look
See us.
different. I got some in the works.
Okay,
Dyeing your hair, huh?
he's gonna come out with red hair or
You
something.
guys will have to see.
Shaved head.
Yeah,
again.
keep up with me in Instagram.
That's you.
I'm Mark Hugo, MLKHUGO.
Keep up with me. What is the Adventures of Mark? At Mark
See what
Hugo.
I'm up to.
You're going to start a YouTube channel?
Literally.
But yeah, I appreciate all the moments we had. It was cool. You know, it
Yeah.
taught me a lot.
Me too.
It definitely sped up the maturing process. You know, being forced to talk and express my emotions and feelings. I've definitely learned how to be communicative through you guys.
I'm glad to
Thank
hear
you.
that.
I'm glad we did something for you.
Yeah.
You guys also brought happiness. I'll tell you that. I was very happy.
I'm glad.
Mm-hmm.
The summer before we all went off to college was like a really good time for me.
It was. It was a
Yeah.
very fun time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just like part of growing up with
Yeah.
like friends. You
Yeah.
just outgrow each other, and you know, there's nothing personal in that. It's just life, you know? And especially like since high school too, you know, the person you were at like sophomore year of high school to now, it's like everybody here is different. So it's like you can't hold on to who we were. So
What does it feel like for you? Because I can't.
What like leaving the podcast?
Yeah.
It's been something that I've been wanting to do for a little bit.
Honestly, since since the second episode, you told me like, I don't know if I should be in this.
Oh, yeah, no.
podcast.
oh, I remember that.
But I'm glad I did. No, yeah. I feel like that was a different person.
Yeah.
I think that person didn't want to be in it for a different reason for now.
Mhm.
But yeah, no. This is something that I've been wanting to do. And so I'm pretty glad that I'm doing it. I know there's times where I feel like I don't want to do it, you know, and that's like usually when we hang out. But then there's often times where I do want to do it, and that's when we're going through like conflicts and all that.
Yeah.
And it's like a few conflicts that were never resolved, and so I'd say like that's like the big reason why I'm leaving.
That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm not saying
weird.
that I don't fuck with you guys. I'm just saying, for me at least, there's just like a bit of history that I just want to let go.
That's fair. It's interesting how it's literally like, yeah, our relationship with each other. Choosing to actually let go, because it's so easy to stay in the comfort of your routine since you've done it for 4 years. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, what does my life look like after this? You know, it's hard to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I just have to look forward, you know.
yeah,
And I think that's what a lot of people have to do when they're, I guess, like leaving their first jobs or moving away or some stuff like that.
yeah.
They can't just keep looking back. Just gotta keep moving forward.
I hate the concept of constants no longer being constants. Like it really, like it
Like
really
change?
scares me. Yes, I hate. Fuck yeah, change. I hate change. I even like, okay, this is an example, but like when I would watch The Office, that show went on for so long, and you get invested into the characters and into the world they're building of these people that have had these jobs for years and are still with the same people, the same coworkers for years. They become a part of each other's lives, friends, family members, significant others, etc. And at the end of the show, it's like some of them quit. They like leave, they go to different jobs. And I remember when like I was younger, that part would always make me so sad, because it just like, I was like you guys can't just stay, like you can't live the rest of your life together. Like you're not going to stay together forever and just, you know, be like vibe out with each other. There'll be a point where you start like a new chapter. It just seems so emotionally draining to do that. To go from the change of the constant to into the unknown, and then eventually, hopefully, I mean, inevitably develop a new routine again. So that's always been scary. And I think this podcast has been the biggest constant I've had in my life so far, if I think about it. Like it's been 4 years. I've only been alive for 19. Like, you know, I haven't lived in one home my entire life or anything, so that has changed. I've had different members in my life. Like first I lived with my grandma, and then with 2 parents, and then with 1 parent again. So that hasn't been a constant either. But this has been like, for a significant part of my life, like even though it's only 4 years, it was
Part of your like significant, like this important time of your life.
of being a teenager
Coming of
specifically.
age,
Really,
yeah.
yeah, like from my developmental ages, right, from like 13 to 19. This was the longest I've ever done something consistently, which is really weird to think about.
It is. It's bittersweet.
But I mean, there's been a lot of good memories too. Not to make this episode too
Yeah,
sad.
no, there's been a ton of good memories.
Yeah.
I mean, I think like the first 2 years were like, you know, probably like
Peak.
Yeah, like the best that we were really. And sometimes I do like look back on that, and it's like sad. Not okay. It's
Bittersweet.
Bittersweet, yeah. Let's say bittersweet.
I don't know. I'm saying it's bittersweet.
It's just bittersweet, you know, because we were just like teenagers, just doing teenager stuff, and there's nothing more like fun than that. And it was just really simple. I think that's what I like too. It was just simple. It was easy.
Sometimes I feel like I would overthink things, and then I would forget that we were also teenagers, and it just sometimes the podcast felt like just this huge pressure to be perfect and say the right things and do everything right, give the right advice. So it took me a while for it to just be like, it's just here, like we just be real. We're living our lives. We're still trying to figure stuff out, and I feel like after I like realized that, the podcast became like a lot more special and like
it was more authentic.
Yeah, it was just more authentic.
That's so true. I think we went through this period where we started the podcast because we just wanted to share our story, talk about stuff, and then we saw people listening, and then we felt the pressure to give advice. So we're like, oh, now we're supposed to give advice because that's what they need to take. They need to take something valuable out of this. But even now, like I think it feels a lot better when I just think like, no, we're not giving advice. We're literally I just want to share my story.
Yeah.
Share my story about like my daily, weekly life without feeling that pressure of, is this like good advice, or is this helpful or not helpful, or does this episode contain anything like life lessons? Like ultimately, I think I love when it's just, we're just sharing our story. It's a documentary. It's just a documentary is what we've done. So yeah, it was a really it's weird that it's been 4 years, because I mean I'm glad we started a sophomore year, because then 4 years ends on sophomore year of college, and it's not just 4 years of high school.
Oh,
because
God.
that's trippy. Like if we started this freshman year and then ends like senior year or something,
That's crazy.
that would have been odd to see come to life. We asked for some questions on Instagram, and someone said, did you guys see the podcast coming this far?
I don't think anybody did besides Kyle.
Yeah.
No, I just thought it was gonna be something that we did like every week.
On the side.
On the side, it'd be like a nice little hobby, I guess you can call it. But I never ever like would have pictured us here and all the accomplishments that we've had. But damn, it's crazy because I just didn't know. I didn't know it was gonna lead to this, but I'm glad it did.
Like you said, I mean, I always had confidence that it was going to be really successful. But what I never really thought about is how long we were going to do this for. 4 years. Like even now thinking like you're going to do, like if I started something right now and then you told me you're going to do this for 4 years, that'd be so scary to think about. Like I don't want to think about the future or any commitment because it stresses me out. But I'm really thankful for how far we've gotten. I mean, I don't think we really celebrate ourselves enough, but we did something that was kind of innovative in the podcast space.
I forget that a lot.
Yeah.
And especially in the mental health space too. It's like it was so taboo at that time, and now looking at mental health, it's not taboo at all. If anything, it's the complete opposite, and everyone is oversharing and being super, super vulnerable to strangers. And I'd like to think that we had a role in it, even if we might not have. It's like at least we did something for mental health, and we were able to help people.
Dude, yeah, we did a lot of like, we were for real like
pioneers.
Not like
entrepreneurs.
Dude, even to this day, there's barely any teen mental health podcasts. There really aren't.
Nobody like us.
No one's doing it like us, because this is 4 years of work. Like, who starts it at 15 years old? Like that, it's so rare for that to happen, which I think is why we're one of the only ones, because how many 15-year-olds are actually like, okay guys, let's make a podcast and then stick to it for 4 fucking years. Like that is I forget how impressive that actually is to put, like, there's adults that can't do that. There are so many adults that start a podcast and can't do it consistently for 3 months. So the fact that we were able to do it for 4 years is
insane.
Something we all should really be proud of, that we like stayed here for 4 years and kept talking about stuff and kept growing and kept going and kept going.
Yeah, it takes a lot of commitment.
It does. And it's like you sacrifice so much and people don't really realize it. It's like you are kind of sharing your most intimate details about yourself and putting yourself out there. People know everything about me and I have no idea like who they are and what they do and how they feel, if they like me or not. But it's been cool. Like, I think I worried too much about, again, saying the right things. But now I look back and I'm just like, you know, whatever I said in that moment, that was like how I was feeling. And as long as someone took something away from it, that's all that matters. Because I do think about everything and I'm like, I low-key wish this podcast would just disappear. Like everything about it would just be gone. No one will know anything about me.
That's so interesting. You find comfort in like no one knowing anything about you, I guess, because of like, you know, whether it's just like it's embarrassing, it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Because I've come to realize while you're speaking that I think the reason I love this podcast so much and why I don't really have an issue oversharing or being vulnerable on the internet is because just the same way that to you, the listener, listening to us makes you feel less alone, me sharing my story with you makes me feel less alone, because it feels like there's someone out there, even if I can never see them, meet them, or talk to them, there's someone out there that knows who I am, and it's like my story. So there's that comfort in that my being and who I am is on the internet, almost like immortalized as long as the internet lives. Like I'll always have this little chunk on the internet where my truly like who I am lives. And there's a comfort in that. I think maybe it's just because there's like that fear of like being forgotten, or even just being alone in my personal life and realizing like, whoa, no one around me knows anything about me. So then do I even exist? You know, if I disappeared, would I exist? So I think this podcast sometimes like really gives me that comfort of, even if there's no one around me, there's so many people that know I exist, that know like,
that's true. I just have like a fear of being perceived, and I can't please everyone with everything I say, and there are going to be things and stuff I do that people are going to be like, they won't agree with it, they won't necessarily like me, and still something I am like accepting. But that is true. I do think about the people who have reached out, or like the people who keep up with me, and it's nice that people know, like I'm not just like a nobody. If that like
Damn.
Okay, I was trying to find like the right way to word it, but it's like
you feel a little less insignificant.
Yeah, it's not a nobody, but like I just feel
Not in a bad
like
way. Yeah, I get you.
I just gave meaning to
Your
whatever
existence.
my
Yeah, no, it's literally like you feel like you. It's like, I mean, it's kind of like that. Like being a nobody doesn't mean like you don't have followers. That's not what that means.
Yeah.
It's just saying like it feels like I gave some sort of meaning to my existence, and that doesn't have to be through social media. It could just be through some sort of impact in your daily life.
Impact. That's exactly it. Like I'm glad I was able to have an impact on something bigger than myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never thought about it in the way of like being immortalized. That's kind of scary.
Really?
Well, yeah, because you're on the internet forever. Like you can't go away. Like you just can't go away. And it's
technically, yeah. Someone could find like you'll
like,
never go away because someone could find you.
Yeah, and so that's a little bit daunting to think about. But I'm glad. And the thing about me, like when we were talking about like saying the right thing, I used to have the exact same thoughts, but I just realized that like once I like leave, Thomas's house, it's like, okay, that's it. Like I'm not thinking about it. I'm not gonna like ask to take something out. It's just like as it is, and I'm not gonna think about it. And I think one of our recent episodes, it got some blowback, and I didn't even realize until like I saw one of the comments on Instagram, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that this was like being perceived this way. And at first it kind of made me feel like a little bit like shit, because I was like, you guys don't know, like but it was just like 5 minutes, and then afterwards I was like, okay, I'm not thinking about it now. I didn't even think about it until right now. So
And it doesn't matter.
and I don't know, it doesn't have like, I guess at the end of the day it just doesn't matter. Like I'm not gonna waste my energy just dwelling over the way that somebody's like thinking of me. Like I'm not gonna meet this person. If they already have this idea of me, then I'm just not gonna waste my time and energy trying to like sway them. It's like I have nothing to prove. It's just like I just want to say what I say, and that's it. And, like let them have a podcast. Let's see how they're received. It's like everybody's gonna say something that's at times not accepted by everybody, but like that's fine. That's a conversation.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know. I just don't think about it.
Yeah. And especially with our audience, I don't think we have to worry about it as much, because if you've stuck around for this long, it's like you don't necessarily have that mindset where, oh, this is a good or this is a good person, this is a bad person. Oh, I like this person, I don't like this person. It's like I wish everyone who has listened or is listening to just see us as human beings at the end of the day. Like we're not always gonna be perfect, and you might not like us, you might even hate us, but
that's okay.
yeah, like it's just we're real.
Yeah.
Like that's really it.
Any words, Mark?
I agree with you, Kayla. When you said you just come in and you come out and you don't really think about it. That's how it like is for me too. Just come in, say what I gotta say, and sometimes like in the process of like saying the things that I wanted to say, I like think too much of what I have to say. You get me?
No.
I overthink on what
In the moment.
I'm overthinking on what I want to say.
Which leads to what?
Saying nothing.
Saying nothing.
Oh.
So true, bestie. I know, because I meet people like in real life, and then they listen to the podcast, or like they just listen maybe to like an episode, and then they're like, you don't really talk much. I'm like, I know, huh? I kind of don't. I really don't. So I wonder like what kind of image you guys as the listeners have of me.
Do you wish you had like the ability to talk more, or are you happy with how much you talk?
I'm happy if whatever I'm saying helps other people. Like sometimes I don't even have to have my personality out there to help other people. I think it's, how like you go outside and then you just see a sign and then it just, I don't know, suddenly brights up your day. That's like, I'm okay if like they just look at the words I say or hear to listen to the words I say, as opposed to knowing what kind of person I am.
Oh. I get what you mean. That's a different perspective than the rest of us too, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah, but there's times where I'm like, yeah, you know what? I want to be seen as like a cool guy.
Right.
But at this point, I've accepted. I don't need that. I don't need to go, I guess, the extensive way. Like I've accepted like my role, I guess. The part that I play,
which is just wisdom, punchlines every once in a while.
Yeah.
Right. That's fair.
Is that how we view Mark in the podcast? How do we view each other?
How do we view each other?
I'll say it.
Oh,
Okay.
right to it.
Joe is he leads everything. He's a leader.
A leader.
I know he controls the flow of where the podcast or the episode is going, the conversation. Thomas, he comes in and puts in his 2 cents. He talks about
4 cents.
Really, honestly,
You're right about that. You're right about that.
a whole dollar. I feel like I'd be saying too much, but yeah.
All good. I feel like your personality definitely shows a lot more than the others, I guess. And then Miss Kayla, sometimes the stuff she's saying is like on point, you know, little bangers. She just drops bombs.
I
Like,
know.
Thanks.
what I think of me, I don't know. I don't think about myself like too much.
Okay, we'll do that for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think I see. I see myself as. Okay, so in my head, Thomas is. I analyze. Thomas is what I'm analyzing for the most part. Oftentimes, I think usually it's. Thomas is like the meat, the substance of it, the majority of the substance / meat, and then my role is to analyze that.
Okay.
Where does that come from? Analyze that. And then Kayla is the response to the analysis and the substance. So she like listens to what we're saying and then is like usually very concise, I think this because of this. And that's kind of us.
I'm so glad that you say concise because I feel the exact opposite. Usually I'm just like, wait, what did I say? Or like, where am I going with this?
No.
I sometimes get like lost in my thoughts because it's
Lost
like
in the
I'm thinking
sauce.
too fast and then it's just like.
That's it all in your head. That's all in your head.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
And then honestly, I do agree with what you were saying, Mark. I think you are also comes in, says like his viewpoint on what is happening. That's really it.
You give your 2 cents, and it's like, cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That makes
Thanks,
sense.
man.
It's
You give the
it's
straight
usually
man
yeah,
perspective.
it's usually a different perspective from everyone else. So it's like nice.
That's true. I think that will be lacking from now on. No more straight men in our podcast.
Just
Damn.
the girl and the gays. Not
Yeah.
gays, but yeah. The queers.
The girls and the unlabeled.
Yeah.
Unlabeled. Actually, why even girls too? The humans.
The
Whoa.
podcast people.
The podcast
Podcasters.
beings. The podcast.
That's even like
We're podcasters.
How do you feel when people call you? Oh, so like you're a podcaster?
Disgusting.
I just feel like that title is it sounds very bland. Like podcaster.
Yeah, it sounds so boring.
Yeah, it sounds boring.
It's like, okay, you're boring. You podcast.
it has like a derogatory like,
Podcaster derogatory.
intent behind
Yeah.
it. If people mention it to my face, I'm gonna be like, "What do you think about
It
it?"
just sounds boring.
Well, what do you have to say?
I just don't like the title. I wish there was like a cooler name or
It sounds
something.
boring, doesn't it?
It
Like
does.
podcast.
It
It's
sounds
just bland.
lame.
Yeah.
Lame, boring, nerdy. I like the nerdy aspect. I don't like that. It sounds
Nerd.
boring.
What?
Nerd.
Yeah. That's that is my label. It's my identity.
Loser.
Loser nerd.
I see that.
Ah, yeah.
I agree.
love that.
You
I-
are loser nerd.
honestly, since I was a kid, like low key, like some bitches want to be alt so bad. They want to have like some bitches want to be bad bitches. Like I honestly want to be perceived as a loser nerd.
People like loser nerds.
I know, and I was on that wave. Like when I was younger, this is off track, but when I was younger, I would be like, I want a nerd boyfriend that wears big black glasses.
You're kidding.
Yeah, I like the stereotype of a nerd with glasses. I was like,
thick
that's
ass
so
frames.
Like bow tie and like.
okay,
suspenders
not
and
that, but I was just like the glasses. I was like, that's so cute.
all. Wow.
That's so funny.
So, anyways, that's I don't know what is. Everyone's always asking us, what is next? What is next? You know what's weird about this is that for the past 4 years, like even though we might not realize it, the podcast has kept each year brings something bigger than the last.
Like right when we think like, okay, this like has
This
to
is
be the
peak.
biggest thing. Nope.
There's
Something
more.
just comes.
There's more, and there's
We
more.
always say, "Whoa, like how can it get any better
Yeah.
than this?" And then it
It
does.
will.
We always think we're dying. We literally always think we're dying. Like we are at our peak. We're just gonna get bored and stale, and then just something happens.
You guys
Every
are
single
sticking
year.
around.
I know, that's crazy.
Right?
Thank you.
Like first year.
We're like friends.
keeping us fed.
I wish we
Yeah.
would do more with you guys because I think all we've done is just one podcast episode every week and
Yeah.
nothing else.
It's just hard, like, cause it's virtual. Like I want to party with you guys. I want to meet you guys in person.
Oh my god, that'd be so
That's the
much
thing.
fun.
Like, we
be
totally
so much
could
fun.
do like in real life pop-ups, events, or like even just other stuff. Like
That's so scary.
when we used to do like our little merch or our little YouTube videos.
I want that, but that is terrifying. Holy shit!
Yeah,
It's like,
just
all
a
these
bunch of people who
yeah.
like, whoa.
that
I
I'll
think
like you. Huh?
that'd be a very cool experience, though.
I wish I had more time to like engage with all of you, because I think I did have that time sophomore and junior year.
Mhm.
Like, we were doing YouTube videos, we would like do little things, we were on Discord, we were on Minecraft, and then we just didn't have time anymore, and that makes me so sad. So yeah.
That's just growing up. You have less time.
I know. Unfortunately, we're not cut out to be the influencers you want us to be. Like, we can't keep
Yeah.
engaging you with all these fancy things. Although I do want to do more of that from now on. Honestly, I do want to try.
And hopefully we do more, or we not do more. We start doing events,
Yeah.
just like more tangible things.
Yeah, it's just hard to figure out what that is that works for us.
Yeah,
They're gonna see us like in real life after seeing us like on a screen.
That's
Mm.
weird.
For, like,
because whenever
a few
someone
years.
does, like, come up to us,
Yeah.
it's always like, what personality do I project right now? Like, what? Like, how do you perceive me?
If you guys or when you guys meet Thomas, you guys aren't meeting Thomas. It's just like
damn.
one, like a little sliver of his
Yeah.
personality.
Don't be fooled.
And it really
Yeah.
depends on like the day.
Yeah.
So you'll see what Thomas you'll get. I don't know.
Yeah, that's so funny. Well, we'll see what happens in year 5 of teenage therapy. Look, by the way, the podcast from now on is going to be me, Kayla, and Thomas. I know we kind of forgot to like answer that, but it's just me, Kayla, Thomas.
Us three.
Us three. We'll move the podcast to New York, rent out a studio, live in the studio, and we'll live there.
I think that'll bring the views up.
I think so too. We need a New
Yeah.
York phase during summer. Just kidding. Anyways.
No,
Not
it's
really.
essential. Like, we need new experiences.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we need like we need to go through every phase possible. We need to go through a depression phase, like a therapy phase, a healing phase, a slut
I like
phase, a hoe
already went.
phase.
Dude, I already went through all
Now
that.
you need to go through the growth and the on your best behavior.
Self-discovery.
Self-discovery.
I am on that. Yeah.
Good. See? All right. Me and Kayla next.
Yes.
I
See what
know.
happens.
Come on, guys.
I'm working on it.
Sorry.
Where are all your problems?
Oh, they're
Sometimes
coming. Oh, they're coming.
Let's not go into that.
Yeah.
I'm like carrying the weight of all of them. Fuck.
Literally. I'm
I'll create problems.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
Let's.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah. I don't know when this podcast will end. I have no clue. It might be sudden. It might be a big buildup. Who fucking knows? Maybe we just keep reaching newer and newer heights that we're like, oh my god, we could keep doing this. Who knows?
Forever and ever.
Yeah.
Isn't that a dream? Dream come true.
Spotify bios 450 million, and we'll do it for 5 more years.
I'm convinced.
Sign
If
me up.
okay, if you
Sign
guys
me
okay,
up.
I'm curious though. If like let's say somebody offered us like, okay, we'll buy the podcast for 50 million, but you have to do it for 10 years, 10 more years.
Yes.
As much as like I do want to stop doing the podcast eventually, it's 50 million. You have to give
Who
a
am
more
I to
realistic
say
number.
no?
Okay,
to,
but
like-
50 million, like let's say we get like I don't know, like 10 million each minus like cuz taxes and
Okay,
fees.
try to be more realistic.
that's enough.
That's realistic. Okay.
Is it the fuck?
That's realistic.
For 10 years, I guess.
10 years. So 1 million a year
It's Spotify.
to do a podcast.
I don't know if
pretty
I
good.
think that's
Is it?
realistic. I don't.
Pretty good.
It's pretty good,
Yeah,
right?
really
This bit's like
good.
that's not realistic. What,
Okay,
like
how
the
about
taxes?
actually
Like, give me a more like a number I can.
100K.
500,000 a year.
Okay, see, that's a lot more like, okay, now I can actually
Really?
level the two. Because if it's millions, like I'm obviously gonna do.
Yeah, but about
like,
500K, I feel that's still a good enough number.
Me too.
Yeah. How
Um,
about 100K?
But I feel like
Okay.
10 years is a long time.
Okay.
Like imagine like you
okay,
that's
but
true.
like realistically, what kind of contract is gonna keep you for 10 years?
Okay,
it's usually
babes.
like 5 years.
I think we're overthinking this.
Anyways,
Well,
Okay, let's
I'm
say
just
5
trying to
years.
evaluate the situation.
Thomas needs to see the
it's just a
contract right
hypothetical,
now.
guys.
We don't have a contract in the works.
It's like, no, like how do you expect me to make a decision with such like high numbers? Like I'm obviously gonna do it if it's like 50 million.
That makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
We'll revisit this in a few years when Spotify actually gives us a deal. So.
Or Apple. Apple, you got money.
True.
Apple Podcasts.
What have you done with us, Apple?
Apple, come get
Apple
us.
hasn't done shit.
Come get us,
It's
Apple.
Apple's turn.
No, just kidding. I love our Apple podcast spotlight.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
That's cute.
When
lovely.
was that?
That was last World Mental Health Day. Actually, no, it was January.
January of this year?
No, it wasn't.
Last
I
Last
don't
year.
remember. It was when Isaac left,
Oh.
I think. Anyways. Okay,
Fun
Mark.
stuff.
Final send off.
It's your final episode with us.
How
Yeah.
are you feeling?
Say your goodbyes.
I know.
Get anything off your chest.
Hi guys. It's gonna be very, very personal, intimate for the next few sentences. Thank you for sticking around. I know at least one of you guys, hopefully at least one of you guys had me as your favorite. And I have to find a new favorite. Let me know. Let me know. What'd you think of me? What'd you think of me in these past 4 years? I'd like to know, have an idea. Get to see your point of view. I want to see your point of view this time. I feel like I already said what I had to say to you guys. You know, thank you for the amazing 4 years. It was a cool time. And then Isaac, if you're listening to this, you're probably not. You're having too
Yeah.
much fun right now. But
You know
are.
he's not.
I'll tell you the news somehow. I hope you well. We're gonna be in the same boat. No, we're not. You're in London right now. Anyways, this is goodbye. Thank you for listening to Teenager Therapy.
It's like the Suit Life of Zach and Cody graduation episode.
Oh my god.
So true, bestie.
That's so niche.
Thank you for listening. We will see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.